Hello and welcome back to another edition of iDigital Academy and Unreal Scenes. And today we have an amazing program because we have with us some of our best developers. And let me introduce you to Sebastian Mejia, to Sergio Gaitan, Joshua Dolores, and Pablo Gutierrez. And today we will discuss the making of and how did we develop this amazing environment that's the interior of a medieval church. And so let me ask you, Sebastian, what was the challenge and what was the objective of developing this very interesting environment?
So the challenge was to create a very realistic church interior with like God rays, these big and colorful windows with colors they have in churches, and also having this digital like seats being paired with their practical counterparts. So we got also uh, 3D model or scan objects to match them with the digital and practical assets we have.
Okay, can you explain us how the work was divided between all the developers here?
Well, for once, Joshua was in charge of actually 3D modeling from the ground up. This, for example, these church seats we have, he just took some references from the actual practicals one we have, and just from photos and reference he had, he could actually match the practical and the digital props, making them one by one counterparts. So it was actually that was a pretty actually good work. Pablo right here was in charge of the lighting of the whole environment. You know, having these God rays coming through the window and interacting with the interior, and also having this indirect lighting bouncing from from these windows into the interior and lighting up the whole scene in a photorealistic way, you can say. Sergio here also worked on the windows itself and just the environment in general. On we just keep every single one of us just works in optimizing the environment, making the 3D assets and the lighting, making them the best, like the best performance possible. So we are able to run it and track in real time in a big data stage we have.
Great. So, Pablo, I will ask you to share this screen so our audience can see the description that Sebastian made, and we want to explore all these elements: the lighting, the layout of it, the challenges. So, if you can share with us, please, this this screen. Meanwhile, can I ask you, Sergio, what was exactly your role and the challenges regarding this actual environment?
What I worked on was on the window walls for the church because the walls were a little bit like it needed a little bit of resizing. So what I did is that I grabbed the model from Unreal and sent it to Blender, and there I scaled down a little bit the wall so it fits correctly onto the scene,
Great,
and then give it back to give
great.
back to to Unreal.
Great. Amazing. It looks amazing. I can see here, everyone can see uh, what's happening here. Talk to us, Pablo, please. What was your technique? What technique did you use for lighting? The lighting is amazing in this church. We can see it. Can you just turn the camera around so we can appreciate this amazing lighting? And can you talk to us, Pablo, about the lighting techniques?
Yes, we actually used the Lumen lighting system from Unreal, which really helps in not only optimizing the scene, but also showing it in a more realistic way than baked lightning will do it. Another thing that was interesting in this project, as you can see, sorry, my PC is slowed down a bit. As you can see, these are painted windows, right?
Yes.
So an effect that has lighting with painted glass is that it usually changes the way lightning looks. So if it passes through red glass, the lightning turns red.
Mhm.
But in this case, because how lightning works in Unreal, we cannot do that because the software can do it. So instead, I actually simulated with a little trick. So right now I'm changing the simulation,
Oh,
and as you can
we
see
see the
now,
actual
we
projection.
can
Yeah,
uh,
beautiful.
yeah, we can now see how it will do it in real life, right?
Yeah.
So this was the most challenging thing from to make because I had to simulate it, I had to fake it in a way, you could say.
Mhm.
So this is in reality, it's just a decal. It's like a sticker of the window.
Mhm.
But what makes this interesting is that if I change with where from where the sun is coming, it also changes in real time how the decal of the window. So what
Great.
makes it interesting is that you get a more realistic way of how it will work without having the expense of the how it will really work in the system. Because for this to work, you really need ray tracing or path tracing, and it's not really viable in virtual production.
Yeah,
But
it's very heavy and yeah, of course we should remind you guys that we usually develop these environments to use in huge volumes. Actually, we will see one of the volumes in a moment. And we're talking about 25K of resolution, and it's 150 feet by around 24 feet tall. So it's a very, very, very big uh, multi-node volume. So that's why one of the main challenges we have is how to optimize precisely these environments. So talk to us about the development and actually the how did you manage to do that beautiful window, Sebastian? I understand AI was involved with that, right?
So yeah, I did part of the process. We actually instead of designing the whole window with the colors and the design and all from the ground up, we actually use AI to generate these beautiful images you see in the window. That way, we pretty much we could do it in like 2 to 3 days. This nice color effect without losing much time on the actual like design of the windows. So that way, we pretty much made it pretty quickly. And with Pablo creating this effect on the colors, uh, projected colors, so we pretty much achieve a pretty great result in with pretty effortless time, I can say.
Mhm. Great. Sounds amazing. So, talk to us, Joshua, now. You talk about one challenge of matching actual furniture. We see here some of the seats that are used in churches, and you did this modeling to match the actual seats that are used in this set, right? Joshua, can you talk to us a little bit about what happened here and share the screen to show us a little bit of your process?
Right, of course. So for the church seats, one of the challenges that I had was that my references the ones I had at the moment were very small and very low in quality, but they were enough that I could see the general shape of it. So and also more importantly the color. So I went online, looked for a more church chairs of this kind, church benches,
Mhm.
and I tried to find the ones that were most alike and worked off of those with a better resolution, better quality, so I could have a better idea of what pieces was the bench made out of, more or less the texture that it should have.
Sorry to
So
interrupt. Can you show us a little bit of that with your models in your screen so we can appreciate your work?
sure, let me just share my screen and find the document.
Great. So just summarizing, you receive all these pictures of the actual physical bench, the actual physical seat, and based on those pictures, you remodel this bench. It was acquired, was bought by the production team up there in Dallas, and you took these pictures and used them as reference for modeling from the ground up with Blender, right?
That's correct.
Great. So yeah, I don't know if you're ready to share those.
Let me see.
There we go. There we go. Amazing.
Okay,
So we
so
are in Blender now, right?
right, so right here, since it was not meant to be seen the bench here in Blender, the software that I use to model it, it comes with the textures that we use. Those were to use in Unreal. But over here, you can see the general shape of it, and based on the references that I had, another one of the challenges was to have this if you can tell like how are there like these parts of the bench in which they look sharp, but they don't look unnaturally so. So the trick is that there is this beveling technique, very tiny and slim, so that it creates that very gentle amount of smoothness, so it looks more realistic.
I see. I see. Great. Looking great. So we're running out of time, but I would love to share with our audience the actual test or the making of the behind the scenes of the actual test of this amazing environment in this huge volume in Dallas. So can you please, Sebastian, help us sharing this this picture? I think we have a picture, right?
Yeah, we have. Let me look for it.
Great. So yeah, this is one interior. It was interior or part of the interior of a project we achieved. That's an actual medieval castle, and in future editions of these of our iDigital Academy videos, we will also learn about the process of the exterior of this medieval castle and library dash office inside this castle. We see here the castle, the exterior castle. And actually, this is a very interesting post in social media of the our partners at Trilogy Studios. We will also discuss this scene that was made by Pablo. It's amazing. It's an amazing scene. We will discuss it. And we have here the interior of the church, I think. There it is. You can see the actual physical seats over there that matches perfectly the um, the virtual ones. So that's part of what we were trying to achieve. And also the floor matches. So why finally, Sebastian, talk to us about why it's very important a right tracking and a right perspective uh, on set. We see here in a huge set. Go there, stay there, please. We can appreciate the size of the volume that's huge with the ceiling and the backdrop. So you can see the proportion between people and the size and the scope of the volume there. So talk to us finally about why it's very important to calibrate, to have a good tracking, and how do you match the actual physical part of the scene with the virtual part.
So it's a pretty like collaborative work you gotta do because you got like the people that 3D model or scan stuff, and you got the practical art department, right? The digital and the practical one. So you gotta really stay in the same channel between the two to say, okay, we're going to use this kind of seed, so you can scan it or 3D model it like Joshua did, and be on the same channel and be like, okay, we're going to use this kind of floor, so please match it to the digital one. Or we do it the opposite way, we match the practical one with the digital one. So it's a lot of like communication and a bit of different method or skills necessary. Sometimes we 3D model it, sometimes we scan it. It depends really on the needs and the production times we have on set.
Great, amazing. So hopefully very soon we will share in this channel and in our social media the actual point of view of the camera. Here we see the frustum, and the frustum, that blue square that you see there is exactly what the camera is framing. So soon enough we will share the final. Here we see the monitor. Do you see it? The final camera point of view. So yeah, we ran out of time, but it was really, really exciting, and it was really, really interesting to talk with you guys about this process. And remember, follow us on social media, iDigital Creative Studio, on Real Scenes, and Opticate. And of course, you can browse into our websites that the name are the same: opticate.com, idigitalcreativestudio.com, and unrealscenes.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, guys, thank you very much. I would love to thank you all, and please stop sharing so we can say goodbye to our amazing crew here. And thank you, Sebastian. Thank you, Joshua, Sergio, and Pablo. See you soon, and follow us in our social media and our websites. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Later.